Hello Internet, Master Chief here. Now, it recently came to my attention that a debate had been sparked on Waypoint about whether or not 100 Marines could take down a single brute chieftain in unarmed combat. Given my extensive first-hand knowledge on the fighting capabilities of both hypothetical combatants, I figured I'd give my input on the subject. So, first off, I've seen a single Marine eliminate a brute chieftain with a well-placed shot on several occasions. However, the rules of this scenario are that both parties are unarmed and have to rely on nothing more than pure physical strength and intellect. This is where the brute chieftain would appear to have the obvious advantage. After all, they're essentially 9 feet tall walking slabs of solid muscle. I mean, I've seen the stuff those things are capable of, and it's not pretty. Like this one time, me and a squad of soldiers were resupplying on ammo when a brute chieftain suddenly came out of nowhere and thunder-cunted our sergeant at such velocity that he just kinda disappeared into a cloud of dust akin to a Wile E. Coyote cartoon. Before any of us could react, the brute began to perform a weird body movement that involved swaying the rear half of its body back and forth in a jerk-like motion. It did this while advancing backwards towards one of the soldiers until he was pressed against a wall. The brute continued this movement until it caused the man's head to crush against the pressure, all whilst the beast was taunting us saying, "Suffer the wrath of my thug shaker, white boy." My point is that brutes are extremely physically imposing and are not to be underestimated. However, we do have to consider the obvious superiority in numbers that the Marines have. It is likely that with enough teamwork and coordination, the Marines could potentially overpower the brute and hold it down long enough for one of them to just hammer away at the fucker's head until it eventually dies. Although, we also must remember that it is very likely that the Marines will suffer at least some casualties before managing to pin down the brute. In such a high-stress situation, the sight of one of your buddies getting torn in half ass first by Furious George would very likely induce panic in many of the Marines and make team coordination much more difficult. This is once again where the brute has the upper hand. Assuming the brute is able to intimidate enough of the Marines to prevent them from working as an effective unit, then it will be much easier to pick off each soldier one by one. All in all, I don't doubt that there are multiple feasible outcomes to this scenario, and I highly doubt the outcome would be the same each time. But to answer the question, yes, I do believe that 100 UNSC Marines could take down a single brute chieftain in unarmed combat. Alright, Internet, that's all I have for you today. Master Chief out.